All right, the success stories, well, I'm going to bring up a couple of your Napa brothers and sisters to help me out. And the first guest I would like to welcome is Brian Bates from Eagle Automotive Services in Littleton, Colorado. Where is my friend Brian? Are you here? Hiya, pal. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Thank you, guys. Great. Thank you. Take a couple of bucks out of petty cash. That's fine. Have a seat, Brian.
That's the first time I've ever rushed the stage and not gotten tackled by security right out there.
Don't you just want to stand there and have all you guys yell out, "Free bird"?
Free bird.
What song is it you want to hear?
I feel like the dog that caught the bus. I'm like, they're not stopping me.
So, Brian, me and you are going to talk about the shop of tomorrow.
Right.
Sounds like a Disney ride, doesn't it? But tell me, because vehicle quality is getting better. I mean, I remember when I had my car, I was changing the oil every 25,000 miles. Now,
25.
Oh, whether it needed it or not.
Yeah. Firm schedule.
That's it, yeah. I had the little sticker going, it's Christmas, you might want to think about it. But now now the computer just comes on and says you need an oil change. It's about 10,000 miles or so on a computer. So because people aren't doing the maintenance, how are you guys addressing the issue of the cars that are just lasting longer?
Well, in the car business, it's still about focusing on the customer. We really need to focus on what our customers need individually in order to really take care of them and serve them. And so in our shop, it really begins in the end, and it ends with the inspection process. And 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when we bought our first shop, we were a huge proponent of the inspection process, and we did it with paper inspections like everybody did it. And we ran into a lot of frustrating experiences that are just nature of the beast of that inspection process. First of all, trying to read technicians' handwriting is like hieroglyphics sometimes, it's just like, what is this guy trying to say?
This guy write with his feet?
That's right. And, second of all, they take this, we spent a lot of time getting this beautiful inspection together with red, green, yellow, little pictures of cars, and it would come back with grease marks and smudges, torn. Sometimes the wrong inspection was with the wrong car, and it really made that sales process an uphill battle for our service advisors. So, about 3 or 4 years ago when I was in our bottom line group with John Waffler, we started talking about the inspection process, and Napa asked me to help them out with this. And this digital inspection that Napa has included in the Auto Care subscription is an amazing solution that solves a multitude of problems, not just those. First of all, the technicians have to type, so they could type with their feet, but it'd still come out with letters, right? And so we know exactly what the technician is recommending, what their observations are. It prints out on the front counter in a color printer that's very conducive to the service advisor talking to that customer about what the needs are with the vehicle. And the photos, when you add the photos in there, miscommunications with customers can not only degrade, but sometimes completely destroy the trust that you're trying to build with that customer. And so having photographs in the inspection process so that the customer can sit there on the front counter, either on a screen or a piece of paper, and talk to the service advisor and see exactly what's going on. There's not it's a really bad leak, or it's kind of a bad leak, and trying to explain that and decide what that means for that technician or that technician. So when customers actually see that, it's just awesome. So, and what we did is we blew it out of the water with moving to the next level in the inspection process, which is integrating our inspections with the shop management system. So now our technicians actually have the history of that customer's vehicle in front of them while they're doing the inspection. And that means that, they can really make accurate recommendations and observations and take care of that customer. It truly is about taking care of the customer without embarrassing mishaps or missing out on opportunities or things that the customer needs to do. not making a brake flush recommendation 6 months after we've already did it because somebody oversaw it in the history. Things like that, but also making sure that we flush the brakes because it's not in the history for the last couple of years. So those are the things that that have really helped us with the digital inspection process. Now, 2 years ago, when we first introduced the inspection process to our first shop, we were at about $350 a ticket. And we used that number to really measure how well we're taking care of our customers, how well they trust us, and how many products they're buying from us. And 350 is a pretty good number, I thought, for shops. 2 years later, at the beginning of this year, in January, February, March, and April, that same shop is at $550 a ticket. And we really attribute the majority of this to introducing that digital inspection. It's that tool that brings everything together, all of our processes and our communication between our team, and helps the service advisors talk to the technician and partner with that technician, or I'm sorry, talk to the customer and partner with that customer, and really work with them to take care of their vehicle needs and their transportation concerns and needs, and help their family.
See, that, I like that, because you bring your car in and you have a record of when stuff was done. Like, I would travel, I'd go to you ever go to Jiffy Lube and they come out and they show you the air cleaner and then they shame you? Look at this. How did you let this get like this? Were you raised by wolves? But now you have the record and you got the pictures too.
Right.
Evidence. Italians love evidence.
Not all of them.
We do. We bury it. Want to know where it is, and we bury it. Now, how are you keeping up with the newer vehicle technology? Because I'll be honest, when the carburetor was gone, I'm lost. I mean, you open up the hood, there should just be a sign, call the guy. Because you're going to mess this up.
Adam, don't touch.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, really, training is the obvious answer. You know, I mean, we got to keep our guys trained. And those of you guys that own shops, you know that training seems very straightforward. But when you're talking about technicians and advisors, you know, it's not so straightforward. These guys are very vocal about how their time is spent inside the classroom. And they just don't like their time wasted. Sure. And so what we did in the Denver area is we partnered with the Napa leadership team in our local business development group to really to set up a training calendar that was really fine-tuned to our needs in our area, because it could be different from New York to California to Hawaii, Alaska, what the guys really need for training. So our business development group got together and we said, hey, look, we want these classes in this area. And in order to impress our technicians, we know that Napa, their trainers with Autotech, need to bring their A game. And Napa has absolutely delivered. They hired Donnie Cipher in our area. He's a seminar speaker this week. And the place that we've got to do all the training is top notch. And so they're doing a fantastic job. Now, the other thing that they did is we hosted one of their service advisor classes that they developed at the beginning of last year, and the service advisors loved this class. It really blends the sales training with technical training for that service advisor to bridge the gap between the technician and the service advisor and the customer, so that the service advisor can really give a detailed and a knowledgeable explanation to the customer about what they need with their vehicle.
Right. Now, where do you get the people? Where do you get the technicians to do all this?
Well, technicians are easy to find. No, I'm just kidding. Really, technicians, anybody in business, it's hard to find good people. And so what we found is that we really make sure that we're competitive with benefits, with our company culture, with our company work environment, and the pay structure. And those are really the key areas. We've also realized that employees, and especially technicians, are really researching us just like customers research us. So they're looking at our online reputation, and so we keep that spotless. I can't tell you how many times I've sat on the other side of an interview talking to somebody, and they said, hey, look, I've visited your website, I've read your reviews, I love the way everything looks around here. I want to be on your team. Let's talk about this. And so that's really one of the keys to getting good people. Now, Napa's also come up with a talent network this last year, and it's a place where technicians join online on their Napa Talent Network, shop owners join online, and the technicians and the shop owners meet. So if those technicians are looking for jobs, we can see them as shop owners and vice versa. In the Denver area, the Napa Business Development Group and the Napa team, we just met with the folks at Lincoln Technical College, and Lincoln Tech is committed to sign up all of their technicians that are attending right now and an onboarding process for the future, all their students, to the Napa Talent Network. Now, this isn't just a silver bullet. This is a long-term deal, but we know that that's 1,000 technicians that for the next 20 years are going to be working in the Denver area. We want to be able to find them and communicate with them. So the other thing that we're doing is working with Napa to develop a social media recruiting process where we actually continue to communicate and build a relationship with those technicians for the long term. That way they know who we are, they recognize our face, and that when we do have opportunities or we do have somebody that's looking for an opportunity, that we can communicate with them. So our goal really is to have technicians, employees, candidates in general, a pool of those that are ready and available to be interviewed for whenever a shop owner has the need.
That's great. You got a farm team.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, the miners.
Yeah. That's good stuff, Brian. That's Brian. That's the shop of tomorrow, guys. Give Brian a hand. Great job, man.
All right, thanks.
Great job.